Hello friends, a very warm welcome to the video. Now today we will be taking a look at the IPO of a real estate company called as Macrotech Developers Limited. Now Macrotech is the name of the company while the brand name is Lodha. Now I'm sure Lodha is the brand that all of you have heard of. So this is the first IPO that is coming out in FY22, and given its size, scale and brand recognition, especially in Mumbai, it is sure to generate some excitement. So what are the main highlights of the IPO? Firstly, the price band is between rupees 483 and rupees 486. The IPO is a fresh issue worth rupees 2,500 crores with no offer for sale. The bid lot is of 30 shares. The issue opens on 7th April 2021 and closes on 9th April. So what will be the, what is the company going to do with the IPO proceeds? So it will use 1,500 crores for repaying debt and around 375 crores for acquisition of land and development rights. Promoter stake will reduce from 100% to 88.5% with no shareholders selling any stake at all, since this is a complete fresh issue. So a little bit about the company. Well, the Lodha Group made its foray into real estate when Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha moved from his native place in Rajasthan to Mumbai sometime in the 1980s. The company was formally incorporated in 1995 as Lodha Developers Private Limited and acquired its present name in 2019. It has periodically received investments in its real estate projects from various institutional investors, namely from Deutsche Bank in 2008, HDFC Venture Fund in 2011, a bond issue worth $200 million in 2015, and a follow-on bond issue of $125 million in 2018. So the company's core business is residential real estate development, and it has its projects concentrated in the Mumbai metropolitan region, that is MMR and Pune. It also has two real estate projects in London which are more of investment projects that will get cashed out soon. Macrotech's projects are divided according to income levels as affordable and mid-income, premium and luxury housing and office spaces. Now within each of these segments the company has different sub-brands, according to which its projects are named. Now in the accompanying slide you can see some of Lodha's most iconic projects, namely the World Towers, New Cuff Parade, then you have the Trump Towers and its London property. So if we also take a look at the management team, then it is led by Mr. Abhishek Lodha, who is the managing director. The chairman and independent director is Mr. Mukund Chittal, who has been who has held prestigious positions such as a board member. He is the board member of L&T. He is the former president of ICAI and former chairman of Ethics Committee of BSE. Apart from that, the board contains several industry veterans. Now the CFO of the company is Mr. Sushil Kumar Modi, who has worked with the Aditya Birla Group, the GMR Group and with JSW Steel. First of all, before looking more closely at Macrotech's major points, let us briefly look at the industry per se. So the Indian real estate sector has grown more than 3 times, from $50 billion in size in 2008 to $180 billion in 2020, which is a CAGR of 11%. It is expected to grow at a 19% CAGR over the next 10 years. That is, it will reach a size of $1 trillion by 2030. Also, the contribution of real estate to GDP is set to grow from 6% in 2017 to 13% by 2025. The past few years have been marked by key reforms such as GST, then RERA, demonetization and prohibition of Benami transactions. Some of these reforms were disruptive and led to consolidation in the industry. In few cases, the reforms have led to exit of smaller, weaker players, thereby clearing the way for larger, branded players. Now, apart from these, there have been some policy actions as well recently, which further facilitated home sales. Firstly, the government of Maharashtra cut stamp duty from 5% to 2% between October and December 2020. Then it was made 3% between Jan and March 2021. The stamp duty cut boosted sales in the last 3 months of calendar year 2020. Now, if we assume an average, 6,000 monthly housing sales registrations for Mumbai, then the yearly average was sold in 6 months since the stamp duty cuts. Now that the cut has been rolled back from 1st April 2021, it remains to be seen what will happen to sales from here on. Also, secondly, the RBI has been on a rate cutting spree for the past 5 years, as seen with the trend in SBI base rate in the accompanying chart. Now, the main reasons for this were to support a slowing economy and to provide enough liquidity support. The consolidation theme, which I mentioned earlier, can be seen in this slide with a huge reduction in real estate developers in major Indian cities. And now we come to Lodha. So if you consider the period FY14 to 20, then the cumulative sales of Lodha is way higher than the number 2 player. This is despite the number 2 player being a pan-India player versus Lodha being MMR centric. Now, Lodha's projects are mainly residential. However, it also has a commercial portfolio, an industrial park, and 2 real estate projects in London. Both these London projects are complete, and the net proceeds after repaying debt are to be repatriated to the company soon. The proportion of commercial projects is quite minuscule at just 10 million square feet. Lodha's residential portfolio is quite diversified. If we consider the sales by value, then 39% is affordable, 23% is mid-income, and the remaining 38% is of a higher ticket size. Now, within the MMR micro markets, Lodha is among the leading player or among the top 5 players in South Central Mumbai, Thane, extended eastern suburbs and extended western suburbs. As you can see, the company is present virtually across all micro markets in the MMR region. An interesting example is that of Palava city. This is Lodha's project near Dombivli. Now, this location is seeing rapid infrastructure development, such as a new international airport is coming up. There is a Trans-Harbour highway that is getting built. There are metro projects and other road projects that are coming up. This will connect Palava city to several parts of Mumbai, Thane and Navi Mumbai in a faster manner. So the location was considered to be somewhat remote when the project started. However, the company saw through this infrastructure development and created a huge township over there, which is now getting connected to different parts of MMR. Now the company has about 17 ongoing projects in various parts of MMR, which are expected to get completed over the next 1 to 5 years. These projects have a saleable area of more than 26 million square feet. Till date, Lodha has delivered more than 77 million square feet, with majority of it coming over the past 3 years. To enumerate Lodha's strengths, it is the largest real estate developer in India by sales and has a well-established brand equity in this part of the country, that is in the MMR region. Its execution capabilities are well proven, with best-in-class amenities such as large swimming pool, a private movie theatre, a cricket ground, a football stadium, or an indoor swimming pool, which were unheard of till recently. The company acquires huge land parcels and develops them over a period of time, resulting in an annuity-like income over several years. Those were the positives. Now let us take a look at some of the not so positives. First and foremost is the huge debt on books at rupees 186 billion. A majority portion of the IPO proceeds and majority of the future cash flows will go towards debt repayment. Also, no new debt will be taken. The founding family's political background could cause some discomfort to some investors. However, one needs to note that the company has grown despite this and all previous governments. Also, regional concentration is high, with most of its projects concentrated in MMR and Pune. Now that Maharashtra has emerged as the new COVID hotspot, it is a potential threat for players like Macrotech. If we look at the revenues, Then for real estate players, it tends to be lumpy due to the revenue recognition norms. Now, as per Ind AS norms, a company cannot book revenues till the handover of the property is done, and hence they tend to be lumpy. EBITDA margins continue to remain close to the 30% mark for the company. Free cash flow has been negative in FY20. If we compare the company with peers, we see that Macrotech reported the highest sale among peers in FY20. Its market cap is lower than DLF and Godrej Properties. The valuations are not very steep if we compare with a price to NAV basis. Please note that NAV in this case is the book value and is sourced from the RHP. So what should you do with the issue? Well, we have discussed all the positives and the negatives of the company in this video. So you now know that this company, it has a huge scale and dominance in its key markets. However, the issue is that while all the tailwinds have now played out, at least for now, the headwinds still exist. Also, participants in the equity markets and the primary markets are being more cautious currently. We are no longer seeing that exuberance that we were seeing till about a month back. The lackluster performance of some recent IPOs is proof of that. If you refer to our IPO analysis video of Mrs. Bector's, we had mentioned that you should take listing gains and move out. And our thesis has played out. The initial listing gains were due to strong markets at that time, while the rally has now fizzled out. We fear that something of this sort could happen for this IPO as well. Hence, there is no harm in missing this IPO. You may choose to play this sector indirectly through paints, cement, and building materials. Hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and like our video. Thank you and have a good day.